Hi everyone, it's Les Solgrove, statewide housing analyst for Iowa Realtors, and this is the February 2025 market report for the state of Iowa. Let's jump right in to the graphic this month here. We've got February stats that were just released, and as we always do, we kind of press release the information out for single-family home sales and condo townhome sales. And on the single-family home sales side, we had 2,750 new listings, 2,780 new listings come on the market this month, and 1,768 closed sales. Both of those numbers are down just a bit, but that's coming off of a kind of a tough month in February with some of the storm weather and things like that. Sale prices are holding steady at $225 on both categories. And that's up 4.7% on the single family side and 1.2% up on the condo townhome side. So as far as condos go, 457 new listings came on the market this past month and 246 went into the closing book. So that's a pretty darn good month, really, when you think about it here. And as we look at the year over year monthly graphic here, I like this graphic because it definitely shows you kind of what's going on throughout the year last year, and kind of gives us an idea of what to expect this year. So you can see that our median sale price is up about 2.8%, like I mentioned before. And we're going to see that continue to probably go up just because of the seasonal activity that happens. We tend to see our sale prices go up more in the springtime, and then they kind of level off and come back down through the rest of the year. 22 days on the market, that's a pretty good number. And also a number that's kind of impressive is that home sellers are still getting within about 3% of the list price of their properties. So a little negotiation going on, not like it was back in the COVID days when stuff was selling above list price. But anyway, well, let's kind of take a peek here a little bit closer at active inventory first, and then we'll go back into the new listings that came on and kind of see some of the analysis of those two subcategories. So starting off with our total inventory at 7,355, this is single family again. I've broken this down by price points, and what's kind of good to see is that a lot of our inventory is under that $400,000 price point, where that new home buyers are basically coming in between 100 and 300. And we've got a decent amount of inventory made up here, a little over 1,600 homes on the market between $100,000 and $200,000, almost 1,400 homes in that 2 to 3, and then back up to a little over 1,550 as far as the count for $300,000 to $400,000 price point. But what's really impressive is when we look at the new listings that came on this past month. So remember these three bars right here, this 100 to 400. As we look here at the new listings that came on, we brought on 2,780 new listings in the month of February in the single family category. And what's really cool about this is you see that the number one category of the price points, that $100,000 to $200,000 price point, is leading the way with just over 700 of the new listings that came in that price point. And then second in line was that 200 to 300. So we're seeing the lower price point inventory hit the markets earlier this year. And that's going to help boost the move-up process, because we typically have to have some of that lower price point inventory to come on the market for those first-time home buyers to come in, and then that kind of starts the ball rolling with the move-up buyers. As far as some of the inventory levels, if we go back to 2019, which is pre-COVID, you can see that the inventory levels at the high, now this is a graphic that shows you month by month the highs and the lows. First thing you're going to notice here is all these low points. That's typically the January of every year. January is our lowest month for adding new listings because everybody's just coming off of the holidays and we don't add a lot of listings. But you can see that really the 2023 through 2025, we started off the year at quite a bit lower inventory counts as we were starting the year. And we will see peaks throughout the year if we can continue to do what we did the last 2 years. We'll see inventory levels around that 4,300. At the peak in a month, new listing month coming down the road here. So one thing you probably notice here is look at the inventory here in 2019. Inventory levels were coming in at the high of a little over 5,400. And then the next 3 years as COVID was hitting, Inventory levels were a little bit high, not quite as high as prior to COVID, but they were holding their own as the inventory was really being bought up through the COVID frenzy. But as we all know, the last 2 years in single family homes, we've really seen this drop in inventory coming on the market. And that's pretty evident by looking at this graphic right here. You can see those last 2 years, we barely broke into the 4,300 mark there. And you go, well, what's the cause of that? And what's really cool is if we overlay the mortgage rates over that period of time, you can kind of see that interest rates were very, very low. This is when rates were down around that 3% around the 2020, 2021 era. And then in 2022, when interest rates started to go up, and they went up rather dramatically that year, you can see as interest rates went up, home sellers kind of jumped out of the market, and that's what we're seeing right here. So this has a lot to do with why our inventory levels coming on the market have been so low. But the good news is we're seeing, at least in some of the local markets, we're starting to see more inventory come on in a monthly time frame. So hopefully this year we'll get back to, maybe maybe that 4,800 to 4,900 listings at the peak, as opposed to just hitting that 4,300. So doing the same analysis now, looking at the condo townhome markets here, again, 246 closed sales the last month, and that's up over last year. Days on market is still holding pretty steady at 25. And then similar to the single family category, they're actually being able to negotiate closer to about 2% off of list price. So they're holding their values just a little bit more, and sellers are getting closer to list price on the condo townhome market. So just like we did before, we're going to look at active inventory and new listings. We'll start again here with the active inventory at 1711. And this time we break down that price point. You can see that in the condo townhome arena, that major category that we see most of our listings in is at $200,000 to $300,000 price point. A lot of this has to do with the fact that a lot of the condo townhome markets are in the suburban and the metro markets and not so much out in the rural. And this seems to be that sweet spot all across the state. We do see the second place category and pricing going to that $300,000 to $400,000 price point, which is probably making up for some of the new construction as well. The third place is that under $100,000 to $200,000 price point, which is not too bad. Now, if you remember the single family, we saw a pretty good jump in that lower price point. What we're seeing in the new listings in this particular category is we're not quite seeing the lowest price point jump on the market, but we are seeing still that $200,000 to $300,000 price range come in pretty good. So this is a good sign again that we're refilling the inventory levels that are being sold. We're providing enough inventory, it seems like, at this point for most of the buyers, and this will all change as we get into those spring markets there. The same analysis again, looking at pre-COVID era 2019. Again, you can kind of see the peaks of listing inventory is up until 2021. It looks like the condo townhome market kind of got affected a little bit earlier than the single family, because it wasn't until 2023 that the single family market new listings started to drop off. We started to see a drop off in 2022 for the condo townhome market, and that just might have been just an anomaly, but it's certainly what we're seeing. And then we've had a nice little jump again in 2024. So if we again overlay that mortgage rate graphic there, you can kind of see as rates were rising in 2022, that's the year that the new listings for the condo townhome started to come back down, and then they've been down for sure 2023. So one sign that the market's starting to correct is that the condo townhome new listings coming on the market have increased. And we're actually off to a pretty good start for 2025 as well, because we've started off with that 457, and I think last year was just below that. So anyway, that's kind of the show this month. And what we're going to talk about next month is the sold properties. We're going to look at median sale prices, closed units of closed sales. We'll kind of go around the state. This graphic will be used a little bit more next month, kind of highlight the metros and the suburban areas here that are kind of leading the way around the state, and also look for a couple of states or counties here that are outperforming other counties. So we'll kind of dig a little bit deeper out into the rural markets as well next month. So With that, I'm going to sign off and say thanks for watching this month. I'm Les Sulgrove, and I am the statewide housing analyst for the Iowa Realtors. We'll see you all again next month.